Hi everyone and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. Today we're taking a look at this. That's the 2021 Chevy Tahoe fit with the 3-liter Duramax diesel. Now adding a diesel to a big SUV like this means that it's going to be a torque monster, but it also means that the fuel economy should be great for such a heavy rig, and that's what I want to test. So in this video we'll go through all the features on the Tahoe and then we'll hit the road and do a 250-kilometer road trip to see just how miserly this diesel can be. Let's start with the walk around. So the Tahoe we have today is the premier model, which means it's the luxury version, and as it sits, this model carries an MSRP here in Canada of $88,000. Now under the hood is that 3-liter diesel, which I should mention is a $3,200 option. Again, that is Canadian dollars. So going for that diesel, you're gonna get 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque sent through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now I mentioned this is the luxury model, so you're getting that unique grille up front, all of that chrome mirror caps over there, and a nice set of 20-inch wheels, along with some running boards. I think that the Tahoe looks really nice for this new generation. I think they did a good job updating it. It still looks like a Tahoe, but the front end is a little more aggressive than before. Again, this is totally subjective though, so please go in the comments and let me know. Do you think the Tahoe looks better in this new generation? We're not working it in this video, but let's take a look at that door jamb sticker to see all of the capacities on this Tahoe. So you can see it right there, that we have a max conventional tow rating of 8,000 pounds, 800 pounds of tongue weight, and a max payload of 1467, which is pretty dang good. Well folks, now it's time to hit the road, and we're gonna do that 250 kilometers. Now let me tell you really quickly why we're doing this. Chevrolet Canada actually put out a challenge to all of the journalists driving its diesel vehicles. They wanna see who can get the best fuel economy possible. So we already took the Silverado 3-liter diesel, we did our big loop, and Dad managed to get 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers. So really what I'm doing out here today is trying to beat Dad's 6.3, and we'll see if it's possible. Let's hit the road and I'll take you along for the ride. All right, folks, now we're out here driving in this Tahoe and we got 250K to put on. So I already mentioned we've done this loop once in a Silverado diesel. You can hit the link above right now and check out that video if you want to. So I want to beat what my dad got in the Silverado, which was 6.3 liters per 100. Now let's talk about the differences between Tahoe and Silverado, and the biggest one has to be weight. We'll show you all of the official fuel economy numbers right here so you can compare them, but yes, you can see that the truck is a couple miles per gallon more efficient than this Tahoe is, at least according to the government. So on paper, I am at a disadvantage trying to beat that fuel economy number. And now let me tell you exactly what I'm doing. I am driving the speed limit, first of all. At this moment, that is 80 kilometers an hour. It'll probably be 80 for most of my way because I'm going to stay on secondary highways today. 80K is 50 miles per hour. Now, the other real key ways you can maximize your fuel economy, I think the biggest one is probably acceleration. I'm actually approaching a red light right now, so I'm gonna first of all get off the gas and just coast up to the light, hoping it turns green, because you don't want to use your brakes. You do not want to slow down, because then you have to accelerate again. So I'm coming up to it, hoping it's turning green. I don't think it's gonna turn green. Oh, it just turned green for me there, but now I've slowed down to 30K. I got to speed back up. I'm gently feathering the throttle. And that's really the key, is when you nail it from a light and you jump up to speed, that's when you suck up a lot of fuel. If you're able to just be really delicate with that pedal and slowly creep your way back up to highway speeds, you're gonna get much better fuel economy. And that's one of the things I am paying attention to today. As we drive here, let me now just talk quickly about, Tahoe versus Silverado. Why would you get the SUV over the truck? Maybe the answer seems simple, but I think it's all about hauling. people. If you've got a big family, well, you got to get this Tahoe. And for 2021, they focused on making this thing bigger than it ever has been before. So the third row back there is quite big, and there are actually 5 top tethers for children's seats, so you can get 5 baby seats back there. And actually, you know what, let's take a closer look at the baby seat situation right now. Hi babies, everybody say hi.
Bye.
Oh, not bye, you're supposed to say hi. Anyways, these are my 2 little babies, and this Tahoe has a great big back seat, except for I do have to point out, when you get this entertainment system, these screens take up a lot of space when your kids are rear facing, but of course once they're forward facing, like my big guy Otis, they absolutely love those screens. Don't you love that screen, dude? Yeah, because you can watch what?
Dinosaur train.
Dinosaur train. So anyways, that screen is something to be aware of. Now there are 5 top tethers in this thing, 1, 2, and then 3 along the back for those forward-facing child seats. Now just forgetting about the truck for a second and talking about this Tahoe, this thing is a road trip machine. Now on our model today, we do not have the air suspension. This is just the regular steel suspension, but still this thing is super smooth out here on the road, just floats along. And then the diesel, the most impressive thing about this diesel, and we've said it every time we drive it, the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, it doesn't exist. It's such a quiet engine when you're cruising at highway speeds. It would be super easy for you to mistake this for a gasoline engine, or at least not to notice it's a diesel until you put your foot deep into it, and that's really saying something. We've come such a long way with diesel engines, and this 3-liter in the Tahoe is one of the best ones on the market today, just in terms of the refinement of it. When you do put your foot into it though, and I'm not doing that right now because I don't want to wreck my fuel economy, this diesel has tons of power. The 10-speed shifts quickly and smoothly, and yeah, this thing absolutely jumps up to speed. Plus, there are drive modes here, one of which is a sport mode. Now I mentioned secondary highways, but we're actually coming through town right now, so a little bit of this will be city driving. Now of course, city driving is, I guess, the positive of it is it's slow speed, and speed is truly a killer of fuel economy. However, of course, here's the issue with city driving. You're gonna hit stoplights. So I'm coming up to a red light right now, although this gives me a chance to show off another system here that is going to save fuel. So I come up to the red light, come to a stop, and the diesel shuts off with the stop-start system. Now it's green, and off we go. It's fairly smooth. I will say when the diesel kicks back in, it's a little louder and just a little more, I guess, harsh than a gas engine would be, but for the most part you don't even notice it. And around town, that stop-start system is gonna help you save fuel when you're just sitting at lights all the time. So yeah, they really went out of their way to use all of those little tricks here in the Tahoe to get the best fuel economy possible. Just one quick update on the way here, folks. I just made a critical mistake. I'm on some side roads, and they're dirt roads, and they're doing street sweeping, and this street sweeper has literally kicked up so much dust I can't even see what's straight ahead of me. He's also just backing straight up now, like I don't have a choice. And this diesel is sitting here idling, and it's absolutely killing me. Killing my spirit. Oh my gosh, I do not know what to do here. This is the worst. When you're trying to get awesome fuel economy, and then you go down side roads and come along this thing. Oh, gee bus. Well, I got no choice but to sit here, and meanwhile my fuel economy suffers. Found my way back onto the pavement now, and that's because, well, first of all, I had that weird little street sweeper issue, so it sucked just sitting there idling. But second of all, I was watching my instantaneous readout, and on those gravel roads at about 80 kilometers an hour, I was running from 8 to 9 liters per 100 kilometers, which was way worse than I was getting on the paved roads. So I got back here as quick as I could. Now I have my cruise set, and the instant readout says I am running at 5 liters per 100 kilometers flat. So yes, driving on gravel roads also makes a big difference to your fuel economy. If you want the best fuel economy, stick to the pavement. And now, folks, we are almost home. I just have 4 kilometers to go. I've done 246. So once we pull into my driveway, we will have done our full 250. Now, I said this in the first video we did with the trucks, I'll say it again. Driving the way I was driving today is frustrating. You know, doing the speed limit, there's always someone behind you who wants to go faster. Taking off from lights, you know, I'm trying to go really slow and gradual. And once again, mostly it just frustrates other drivers who generally drive quicker. But that being said, I didn't break any laws or any rules today. So you definitely can, you know, really change your driving style if you want better fuel economy, and especially if you want to meet or exceed those official government ratings. Now, I talked earlier about the difference between gravel roads and asphalt roads, and that's something that I never really thought too much about before. And there's another thing that I discovered today. Now, this one is obvious: air conditioning. Everyone knows you turn on your air conditioning, your fuel economy is going to get worse because you're putting more load onto that engine. Well, you know what? I didn't want my AC on today, so it's really hot. It's 30 degrees Celsius today. So I ended up opening all my windows and I watched the fuel economy drop. So it's also true that opening all your windows makes you less aerodynamic and actually makes you less efficient. I would do them up and I would see a gain of about 1 to 2 liters per 100. The windows down wasn't as bad as with the AC on, so if you have to choose, I think windows down is still better. But it's just, I don't know, it's something that never really struck me before until today, that putting all your windows down really does create enough drag to make you less efficient. And here we are, just pulling into my driveway, parking behind Big Green. You can see the head-up display right there. And now, well, here is the number. I managed 6.6 liters per 100 over 248 kilometers. That's pretty impressive. Not quite as good as Dad's 6.3, but considering how much heavier I am and that the rating here is not as good, I'll take it. It's still definitely an impressive number for a big SUV that weighs 6,000 pounds. And now I'll switch over the units so you guys can see in the US, that is 35.5 MPG over 154 miles. Well, folks, we are coming to the end of this one. Hopefully you can see me okay. It is late now. I am just taking this Tahoe to return it, and I just wanted to give you one last fuel economy update. So since the fuel economy run, I put another 200 kilometers on the clock. We're now at 450, and the next 200, they've been mixed driving, but mostly just around town, getting groceries, stuff like that. And our fuel economy average now sits at 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's a much more real world number. Still very impressive for such a big SUV. And when it comes to this 3-liter diesel from GM, whether it's in the SUVs or the pickup trucks, it's truly a great driving experience. Well, folks, like I said, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And now, of course, I want to hear from you. So why don't you go below, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this Tahoe. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. See ya.